Naturally, we're devoting most of the program to this exciting and intriguing competition. In the 83-80. And finally, South Africa's Thrive Live Rice, whose shrewd tactical approach the odds. Good morning, a bright early start to World of Sport. Early, certainly not too bright. It's very misty around. In fact, I can just feel a slight mist of rain coming down, but let's hope that the bright periods do eventually emerge. As I said, the winner will be very successful in the sense that he will take home a silver trophy itself worth well. Naturally, we're devoting most of the program to this exciting and intriguing competition today, but of course there are other things on World of Sport. For example, Ian St. John and Jimmy Greaves, who will be introducing on the ball at 12:50. We have rallying in the final round of the British Open Championship, the Manx, at 1:55 rather. And we also have Speedway at 2:25. We had planned to bring you racing from the Western Meeting at Ayr, but unfortunately it really is tippling down with rain up in Scotland. The course is waterlogged. So no racing sadly today. That just means that we have more cricket here. So let's get down to the business of cricket. Second day's play begins here at 10:30 with fingers crossed. And before we show you yesterday's highlights, let's show you how the whole thing works. It really is very simple indeed. Each player starts with 100 point a run, but he loses. As a bowler, he loses a point. 25 points for every wicket he takes. That's a concern. Well, they certainly count against the batsman, but they do not count for the bowler. Naturally, our computer will keep you guided throughout the proceedings. You'll see the league table as it changes throughout the day and the scores as they accumulate. So let us look back now to the significant moments of yesterday's play, remembering each batsman faces 12 overs. The commentary team now, Martin Tyler and John Helm.
O'Donnell again to Gooch. Full toss, and that's punched away through mid-on for 4. Worked away on the leg side by Graham Gooch, past Richard Doughty. 4 more to the Gooch total. Graham Gooch on to 24 plus the 100 points that he had right at the start.
So Graham Gooch going along nicely here as he faces Imran and clips that way beautifully through mid-wicket. I think Tim Trembles will catch that one. 4 more to Graham Gooch. And there's certainly a little bit in the air, a bit of movement for all the bowlers, especially Imran, who's particularly nippy. Ooh, that one almost cut Graham Gooch in half. Certainly felt that. Movement here for Imran, both through the air and off the wicket, and there's some real pace in this one, and Graham Gooch really feeling that. Looking a bit uncomfortable. And that will have encouraged the bowler, no doubt. Nothing you like to see more than the batsman hopping around. And bowled him. Gooch going for the big hit. And you can't take liberties like that with Imran. Well, Graham Gooch, having been struck the previous delivery, decides to try and take retribution, but the pace of the ball beating him.
Viv Richards, certainly the slowest of the bowlers on view. Oh, he's done him. Well, Graham Gooch saying at the start of the day that Viv Richards really was a bowler that he'd have to try and attack. But it's Richards who strikes here. That's 25 points for him and 25 away from the total of Graham Gooch. And the catch is given. A spot of juggling by Richards. But now Graham Gooch really in the toils. His 4th dismissal this morning. And only after a spot of real juggling here by Richards, but snared in the end. Well, with all the stroke making, sometimes the umpires need protection. Gooch gives himself some width, it's in the air, and Marou takes the catch. Graham Gooch out 4 times in 14 balls, 5 times in all. And by virtue of those 3 wickets, Viv Richards now with a clear lead, and Gooch drops down to last place.
Simon O'Donnell did play here at Arundel at the start of the Australian tour this summer, so he's one of the few players who has had experience of playing here. Facing Richard Hadley here, and that's beautifully timed, driven away through the covers, and that will be 4 to Simon O'Donnell. So the situation is that Simon O'Donnell 102 points now, a long way behind Richards.
Clive Rice, the holder, and at 36, the oldest of our 7 challengers. Nicely worked away on the onside. And Neil Lenham, fleet of foot, but not quick enough. Steady acquisition again from Rice. And that's superbly timed. No need to run. O'Donnell just guiding it in towards the leg stump, but away it goes. 41 off his 12 overs. And he's come through unscathed out there in the middle, and that was the key to his success last season, Clive Rice.
There's a large crowd here at Arundel Castle, and this is the moment really they've been looking forward to, the arrival of Ian Botham at the wicket. He does have a finger injury, though. He split the finger this morning. But he's a fighter, as we know, and Ian Botham will carry the fight now to Imran. Great shot. Really over the top of that. And that's produced 4 for Ian Botham. The belligerent power of the man, tremendous there. And that's 4 more. Crashing drive from Ian Botham. And they certainly enjoyed that. And just look at the footwork and the timing of the England all-rounder. A large smile from Ian Botham as he prepares to face his pal, Graham Gooch. He'll certainly be looking for runs off Goochie. And he's got them here all right. That's going to be the first 6 of the day. Well, that's right over the top. And it's not safe to park your car anywhere while Botham's around. This is a tremendous blow, and so adept, of course, at working the ball away on the onside. And now he faces Richards, and that's going to be 4 more. He's got that through the field all right. Well, these two have enjoyed a few tussles in their time. Great mates, of course, as well. A little bit of kidology there from Botham, but his timing is good. And that's a massive blow from Ian Botham. It was 4. Oh, and he's making hay at the moment. He really is enjoying himself, and he's picked that one up all right. 4 more for Ian Botham. Well, you can see the funny side of it. So Ian Botham just needing 1 more run, and he'll be above Clive Rice.
It'll be a single there, and that moves Ian Botham into the lead. Nigel Cowley, the fielder. Gooch again. And that's in the same direction, and it's over the fence. 6 more runs to Botham. A flourish at the end of a season in which he's broken the record for the number of sixes hit in first-class cricket. Ooh, a painful blow on the instep. Ian Botham has been suffering recently with an ingrowing toenail. He might have been hit around that area. And Dickie Bird showing great concern. He's going down the leg. And well run too. The non-striker, Alan Wells. He's rolled him. Simon O'Donnell breaks through the defences. And the indication there from Ian Botham was that it kept low. But it really wasn't short enough to play that shot, and it did hit the top of the stump. And Rice, a significant moment then, with Clive Rice duelling with Ian Botham at the top of the table in this shortcut challenge, and that's 25 deducted from Botham's score, 25 onto the score of Clive Rice. Well, the sheer force of Ian Botham muscling the ball to the boundary, wide of Alan Green. Clive Rice really has worked out the tactics of this type of competition. And he's given it away, rather, Botham. It was just a heave trying to repair some of the damage of being dismissed earlier. And under the rules of this competition, that's a risk you don't take. He's middled that one. It's over long on. It's actually dropped in the crowd by one of the spectators trying to make a name for himself. 6 runs to Botham. Right again. And Ian Botham just limping up to the other end and clearly in some distress. David Shepherd, the umpire at the far end, seemed to strike him around the calf. Not best pleased. After the insult of being dismissed comes the injury. And an attempt at a last flourish off the last ball. Ian Botham perishes again. Clive Rice extends his lead, and Ian Botham now down with Graham Gooch struggling at the bottom of the list.
So it's been a steady rather than a spectacular start by Imran as he faces Graham Gooch. Well, that's a gift and punished. You really can't bowl full tosses to the Pakistan captain. Flag still fluttering in the breeze. O'Donnell bowls here, and that's angled away down to third man. It'll beat Graham Monkhouse. 4 more for Imran. Useful runs. Great competitor, Clive Rice here. He bowls again to Imran, and he's timed that one all right. That's very good use of the feet by Imran Khan there. He all seemed to know where he wanted to put that ball, and the receiving spectator will have enjoyed that as we enjoyed the footwork. So Ian Botham bowling spinners now off a short run, and Imran found the gap. That's through the cover region. 4 more. Dicky Bird sitting his out for a moment. But these runs from Imran extremely useful. It was 16 points now separating him and Clive Rice.
Richard Hadley finished 4th in last year's Silk Cup Challenge. Amazingly then, he didn't take a wicket. Faces Graham Gooch once more. And that's dismissed through long on. Hadley on to 114 points. And Rice just firing it in to Hadley's strength, really. He was able to force that into the same area, and now Tim Tremlett, named in the England B squad, goes back onto the fence. And Rice takes a tumble. That's the second time he's gone down today, and it was a foot there, just went under him, down, but certainly not out. Imran down the leg side and just helped on its way by Richard Hadley. Clive Rice leads the way, and then Imran Khan of Pakistan close behind. Graham Gooch -6.
Well, all eyes on the great man. Facing Graham Gooch here. And he wants to get straight off the mark, and he certainly has done in comprehensive fashion, straight back over the bowler's head. Umpire Shepherd signalling the first run for Vivian Richards, and this is majestic, the full flow of the bat. Say it's he's the most difficult man in the world to bowl to. You don't know where to put the ball. And a lot will be going through the mind of Graham Gooch now. We can see what's going. So Vivian Richards taking full toll here, and you couldn't have a more beautiful cricketing shot than that. And Gooch again to Richards, or a rank long hop. Oh, would you believe it? He's out. Caught Alan Wells. And Graham Gooch picked up the prize wicket of Vivian Richards. Real gift. And look where he put it. Super catch. Howard O'Donnell with that cantering run in. And what a magnificent stroke. Vivian Richards. Both would certainly like to get the wicket of his great pal, and he might just get it here. Will it clear, or will it? No, what a good catch from Alan Wells. Ian Botham enjoyed that. He flexes his muscles. He's a clever boy then. Nice to see that Viv Richards could see the funny side of it as well. He put everything into that, but Bomber Wells perfectly positioned, and thank you to Ian Botham. And it's worth another look, and the hands go out. Botham senses victory, and he's about to get it. Oh, yes.
The crowd of some 3,000 fascinated by this duel, and Richard striking back. It's over, Alan Wells. Bird. Calf injury. Well, 19 off the over, and maybe they. Here's Hadley again, and that's a great catch. Ian Gould having to move a little forward as well as sharply downwards. He scooped it up, and a wicket for Hadley. That's a super piece of work by the Sussex keeper. Richards has had one or two problems finding the middle of the bat as his innings has progressed. Well, Dickie Bird has been turning down the LBW shouts all day, and off the last ball of the day, a leg-by signal, that adds to Richards' total. A fascinating first day's play here at Arundel. Clive Wright out to defend his title leads with 178 points. Imran Khan and Richard Hadley both batted without losing their wickets and bowled beautifully. With Richards losing ground by losing his wicket 4 times, Simon O'Donnell will be pleased to be above 2 famous names, and both Ian Botham and Graham Gooch have enjoyed better days.
So it is interesting that the man that won the title last year, Clive Wright, should be leading at the halfway stage by 22 points. And the news on Ian Botham, well, he had another as well. With me, the man who leads at the moment and the man who's in second place, Clive Rice and Imran Khan. Welcome. Good morning, Clive. Good morning, Imran.
Good morning.
I know how much you've been looking forward to this. You really had it worked out last year, and you've been dying for this competition throughout the season, haven't you, Clive?
Yes, last year was a very interesting competition. I obviously worked it out a bit better than everyone else. We've been playing this year. This has been one of the top ones that I've been looking forward to playing.
Imran, you were denied an appearance last year in this competition because of injury. You seem to have settled into the pattern very well.
Yeah, well, I mean, watching Clive, it wasn't that difficult.
Now, the clue, as we discussed last year and also yesterday, is the fact that neither yourself or Imran or Richard Hadley in third place were dismissed, and that is the clue to the whole thing.
And I think the fine of 25 points for a dismissal is half your innings at least. And
can we talk about the wicket yesterday? Everybody...
Well, there was a bit. The ball to use had very high seams, so the ball seamed all around, and it was very difficult to play shots.
How is this misty, rainy kind of weather going to affect conditions today, do you think, Imran?
It'll help the seamers, but at the same time, the wet ball would be harder for the bowlers.
What do you think the strategy is going to be? Richard Hadley, and who is dismissed, if any, by either of those
scored.